Hi, this is Joanna, and today I'm creating a different kind of pop-up card. And I'm starting out by scoring my card base, and I'm scoring it at 4 7/8 and 5 1/2 and 6 1/8. And then I'm just folding my 5 1/2 scoring line, and I'm going to do some die cutting. So I'm taking a rectangle die. You can take a square if you have, or a square punch. But I'm using this, and I'm just bringing it over to my die cut machine. And now I'm folding the other score lines that I made. And this is going to hold my little hearts. I will show you that later. And I cut some thin strips out of acetate, and I'm using a small heart punch to punch out some hearts from some colored cardstock. And I'm punching out 4 of each because then I can make 2 of each color, because there will be a heart on the front and 1 on the back, so the acetate doesn't show. And I'm gluing them together using multi-matte medium. So this is really good because it's matte, so if I put on too much adhesive, it still will dry matte, so it doesn't show up as well. Now it's time for me to adhere the hearts to the card, and I'm using some really strong adhesive to do that, and I'm putting on some adhesive on the outside of the card, but on the inside of the fold, if that makes any sense. And now the hearts with the acetate strips are dry. They have been drying for 1 or 2 minutes. But I'm deciding I want to add another color, so I'm punching out some hearts in green cardstock. And I'm removing 1 of the backing from the tape. And here's the fun part, adhering the hearts. So I take one high, 1 low, 1 high, and I'm just alternating with the colors. The only thing that's important here is to press the acetate down to the tape so they will stick. And don't let the tape touch any other part of the card, because then they will stuck. They will get stuck. This adhesive is so strong. And now I'm removing the backing of the other piece of tape. And I'm just using a scissor to cut off the excess of the acetate. And now the pop-up piece is done. So this is, I think this is a really fun card for kids, because they can touch it and they can play with it a little bit. So this card is actually for my son. And my son, he loves yellow. And he loves dinosaurs, so of course this card is yellow with a dinosaur. So this is some pattern paper from Fawn, and I'm just measuring it so it will fit on the front and on the back side. And I'm using my ATG to adhere it. And I'm also using my bone folder because the fold is a little bit thicker, so that's a good idea. It makes it a lot more nicer. And here I'm starting to work on the front of the card, and I have die cut a round circle from my favorite things, pierced circle Stax. And I'm stamping with Memento because I'm going to do some copy coloring. And the stamp set that I'm using is from Mama Elephant. And I stamped on the piece of post-it tape because I'm creating a small mask. And now it's time to stamp the little dinosaur. I think this is so cute. And I want my piece that I'm going to stamp my sentiment on matches the pierced circle. So I'm using a rectangle die, but this is not long enough. So I'm going to do some partial die cutting, and that is very easy. It's just that the piece of the die that you can see is not cutting. So here it is, a little longer, so that's perfect, just what I need. So now I'm just stamping my sentiment, and I adhered some grey twine as well. And now the card is done, so I hope you get inspired. Thank you, bye!